So don't play no more. We ain't trying to get copyrighted. They're gonna strike us down.
All right,
They're gonna get us strike down.
No. So we're good with that. We're good with that snippet. We do it on that. We do it on that video show all the time. Yeah. So Kobe was not with Del State this week. He had to travel a little further south to PG County, Maryland. Yeah, man. I got a chance to see a north-south matchup. Winston-Salem State trying to bounce back from almost doesn't count itself last week. Bowie State was also at an almost doesn't count in a loss to Livingstone College. So take it away, Kobe. What'd you see? What'd you see at this game?
I mean, it was an interesting game. It started off the first series. Winston came down and scored. Then they got a turnover. They scored again. I thought it was going to be a blowout. I thought it was going to be a track meet up and down the field. And that's how Dalen Lee looked. In those first two series, Dalen Lee looked unstoppable. Then the game started. And it was a completely different. I mean, Bowie State has 6 trips in the red zone. And they only had 4 field goals, maybe 5 field goals, and 1 touchdown. That's what saved Winston-Salem.
That's the epitome of almost doesn't count.
It definitely is. It definitely is. I'm not even going to start going back and forth with you today. I'm living my best life. So, like Dalen Lee, Bowie State had 334 total offense. WSSU only had 248 yards. They only had 58 rushing yards, but they had like a million penalties. They were it was 12 for 134 for penalties. So they had to overcome penalties. They really wasn't doing that much with the run unless they were in the red zone. So, it was the defense and Dalen Lee. And that kid is it
near side.
What's that kid? Is it number 7?
Deloatch, yes.
Yes.
I told you about him before the game.
Yeah.
You know where he transferred from?
Yeah. I don't care where he came from. All I know is that I'm going to call him Chef Boyardee. Because he was cooking them. He was cooking them. And it was a good game. To me, I didn't feel like it was exciting. It was a grinding, physical game. And it was raining. Now, so it started raining, not hard. And Steve knows when the water starts to come down, I'm trying to roll. I said, I'm gonna bag me up today. I'm sitting there at halftime, and they're giving out buoys doing their Hall of Fame process. So then Winston's band comes on, and as the clock is, I'm looking up, and it's like 5 minutes for the end of halftime. So Bowie's band hasn't hit the field yet, and all of a sudden, while they're talking, somebody from Bowie's band takes the mic and says, "Get off the field, get off the field," and Winston act like they ain't hearing. You could see the faces and the anger and the disrespect they felt, but they kept playing to the end. And the guy on Winston's band announcer was like, "You don't tell me to get off the field. That's rude." And then they play. So you can see there was tension between the Winston band and the Bowie band. Nothing really materialized, but that was a weird situation, and it was crazy. But they both balled out. The bands played well, I should say. But that was really interesting. And that ended up because Massey comes out of halftime screaming at the refs because Bowie's band is still on the field, and it was a little bit over overtime. So to me, I was dying laughing. I was wanting to see really what the drama was. I thought it would be a little bit more, but nah, that's all it was. And that kind of rounded out how the game went. No matter what Bowie did, or no matter how close they came, they just couldn't pull it out at the end. They just could not punch it in. They even drove near the end of the game and still couldn't do much. So it was what it was. Almost didn't count.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's first off, yeah, shout out to the Red Sea of Sound, man. They thought they was gonna get up there in Maryland and punk us around because we nice. We're really nice. Man, people don't like us, but we really are nice.
All 10 of y'all in the band is definitely nice.
We really nice, but we wasn't having it. So shout out to the band direct. But I will say, they did have a viewing party for WSSU. I went there before I went to my game, and you said that, but yeah, as a WSSU alumnus and someone who cares about the football team, yeah, it was like they just kept trying. Like I think, and both teams should leave that game frustrated. Bowie State because they had those opportunities and they couldn't punch it in, and they basically handed Winston 2 early touchdowns, and Winston should be upset because if they don't have those penalties, how much more potent could their offense have been? So they rely on Winston relies on the big plays a lot. It happened again because they usually find a way to have penalties and play these mental games. So they got the win this week. I'm sure they'll take the W, but there's a lot. It's just anxiety every week. Even when
they control the ball next week, it's gonna be a long, long day.
You said what?
Long day.
You said what?
If they can't control the ball and get into a track meet or slow the game down, it's definitely gonna be a long day for them. Because they play Virginia Union, am I right?
Yeah.
You say Virginia Union, and I think of Curtis Allen, bro.
Nah, Curtis Allen is coming for sure. But I think that game, honestly, to me, you got the 2 best offensive players in the CIAA. I don't care what anybody says. You got Curtis Allen and you got Dalen Lee, and a quarterback and a receiver. Curtis Allen went for 208 or 200 plus again. I think he's got 676 yards. In 10 touchdowns in 4 games. So
let me tell you what respect is. Let me tell you what respect is for Virginia Union. Virginia Union has such high respect from the voters in the AFCA that last week, after losing to Bethune-Cookman, Edward Waters got a vote, their first ever vote, because they look back at the victory against Virginia Union. That's Edward Waters for beating them, but it's more the fact that Virginia Union has that respect. So I expect them to even get Edward Waters to even get more votes this week because Virginia Union is continuing to roll. It's going to be a great game. I think that's going to be one of the games I'm going to be keying in on, and I really want to see this.
Virginia Union.
It's going to be a blowout. I'm going to tell you right now.
Listen, if Bowie can put over 100 yards rushing on you, and remember, they still got Trayvon Tinsley. They got 2 other backs. So if they don't figure it out and Dalen Lee doesn't put up 1,000,000 yards, it could be a long day.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. It can also
be a long day for Virginia Union because we saw in that Edward Waters game, they'll give up some passing yards, and the Rams not got the receivers to make them pay. You tell me, Kobe.
Massey got to pass the ball now. So Massey.
But hey, it's you. I want everybody in Winston to know it's Kobe that said this, not me.
I'm gonna say this though.
Kobe said this, not me.
I'm gonna say this though. The difference in the game is going to be, can Winston establish the run? Because if Virginia Union can get them to 3rd and medium, 3rd and long, and just tee off on Dalen Lee all day, is like Dalen Lee can do that. He can throw the ball downfield and make that offense. But if they cannot run the ball and if they can just tee off on all game, it's going to be he's going to have to throw for over 400 yards for them to win that game. And I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, the run game, he had 333 against Virginia State. The run game has been inconsistent for WSSU. Even though they love to run, it has been inconsistent. So, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. They're going to try to get me to pull my hair out already. These are 2 teams that also rack up a whole lot of penalties. So the smarter team and the most composed team, may come out of this on top. I think it's got the recipe to be a really good game, and a game at the end that yeah. So we'll see.
I want to know what you putting in the recipe.
What's that?
Because if you can't establish the run versus Bowie, what you? No disrespect to Bowie.
Virginia Union don't gotta play pass defense against Dalen Lee in the passing game.
They do, but like Josh said, if they get 3rd and long, that changes the game.
Because a lot of the game Saturday with Bowie, they was in 3rd and medium, 3rd and minutes, to where they had to respect the run, they had to respect the play action. If they stop the run, and if you just said that Winston doesn't have a consistent run game, if they could just tee off on Dalen all game, even though he's a great player, you don't want that to be all game. You want to at least be the multi-dimensional on offense. You don't want to be one-dimensional and just be passing the ball all game. Not saying that they cannot do it. Like, I believe in Dalen. I've been covering Dalen since he was a freshman, but I don't know if you can do that versus Virginia Union, who's going to want to run the ball, who's going to want to control the clock, who's going to want to keep him off the field, because that's another aspect of the game as well. They're going to run the ball. They're going to hold the ball for a long time. They're going to win the time of possession battle more than likely. So it's going to be about how many drives will Dalen have in that game to take that offense down the field and score. And it's going to be about putting the ball in the end zone and not getting field goals. Those are going to be the key things in my perspective on how Winston can win.
Did you mention special teams in Winston-Salem?
I was getting there.
I'm just saying.
I was getting there. Hope I know you thought the North was going to win, but all right.
Look at some of the better teams. You would think penalties is not the case, but Union's actually leading the conference in penalties, and they're right now the best team in the league, statistically speaking. So we just got to make sure we pay attention to detail, reduce the penalties, continue to be aggressive offensively, defensively, and special teams is starting to find its way back. So we are excited about the challenge ahead. But when we look back, there are a lot of things we got to do better. And I'm going to be honest with you, we have to run the ball this week. We have to be able to run the ball efficient and effectively in order to be a team of that caliber.
Coach, how big a point of emphasis is that, especially in games like this where the margin for error for either team is so small, to reduce the mistakes and penalties and play a clean football game? How big a point of emphasis?
Well, again, when you're running the ball, it kills the clock, so it gives your defense a chance to get a breather, get some rest. They're not on the field as much. When you're running the ball, and if you're scoring, you're demoralizing the opposition. Okay? Their strength, hands down, is not at running back, even though they had 500 yards rushing. Their strength is that defensive line, and everybody feeds off it. They did that a year ago. Now, in that, they've had some of the best, statistically, running backs in the history of this conference for a single season. And this young kid just had like 250 plus yards rushing. So it's important because, again, if we're out there running the ball, he's on the bench. Our defense is rested. So then when we do come out, we're well rested to where now we can give 110% effort and to reduce some of the missed tackles, reduce some of the penalties that we got in the game, because sometimes guys were actually grabbing kids and they were tired, but we had to get them to suck it up and finish the game and close out the game. So it helps in a lot of ways.
For the guys, just bouncing back after Virginia State, I mean, how good did it feel to get the win? I mean, even though, like I said, there's stuff to clean up, but just to get the win and to keep things going.
Awesome catch by Jahari Mitchell. Great catch.
I feel like we really needed that win. It's more like win to go home now, so we gotta win. We gotta win out, and we can't afford no losses. We can't afford no hiccups in the season. So we just gotta take advantage of every opportunity and win.
I feel like this is the most important game because it's the next game. So we want to take this head fast. Really want to, like they said, this is all or nothing. Just want to go home. So we're going to see on November 15th. That's our mentality to it.
Kind of piggybacking a little bit off of that, and this can go for all three of you guys up there. How good does it feel to be in these situations where feels like a win or go home, but you put yourselves in this position to be in this situation?
It's a good feeling because I can tell you 3-4 years ago, we wasn't in this position. So, but again, when we talk about the big picture, it took a lot longer than we really wanted it to, but things are moving in the direction we're trending the way we want to. Last year we finished up 7-3, which I thought was a pretty good record. But again, and we have the ability to win one more, which will be 8-2. That will get us into the championship game, and that's the goal. We don't want to win. We don't plan to lose any more games this season. So to be in the mix and still be relatively healthy, we're blessed and we're happy and we're excited about it.
I feel like these are the games that really we thrive for. Honestly, pressure is not a big thing for us. Pressure is always a thing, but the coaching staff does a great job with us, keeping us humble, keeping us steadfast, really just focus on the big picture. And the big picture is trying to get there to the 15th and Durham Stadium. Trying to bring back the CIAA championship where it belongs.
Yeah, I'm picking off what he said about pressure. I feel like pressure makes diamonds, and it's a privilege to have pressure because a lot of people see it from the outside, but it's not like it's harder than it looks. But we in control of our destiny, so I like that position, and I feel like we can win with like that.
Like you said, the 3 losses last year, this was kind of the one that kind of got away from you guys, a lot of turnovers and everything. How did you guys learn from last year, and how do you plan on, rectifying that?
Again, I'll just say take advantage of every opportunity. You got to dominate from the start to the end, and we can't have no hiccups in the game because that'll cost us. So, yeah.
I say it took a little while last year we played them to figure out what really would neutralize them, but we got something up our sleeve for them. That's all I'll say.
Is this game circle for you guys? Based off last year?
For sure.
Do a circle?
Sure. Any of the top dogs gonna be circled for me, so I'm ready for it.
And you talked about them, Coach. They got Curtis Allen, really, big running back. Just talk about the challenge of slowing him down, and then also the passing game hasn't been great for them, but they hit off.
Well, you know what? They are more like we were a year ago. Heavy run and pass when they have to. So, and I don't think their quarterback is as good as David. I'm just being honest and fair about this conversation. But at the end of the day, Allen's a really good back, but he was a backup a year ago, so we know him, we're familiar with him, and we played against him. So, again, I'll talk about this probably till the day I die from football. We fear no one. We respect him, but we fear no one. So with that being said, we're looking forward to that challenge.
To kind of piggyback off of that, you always say this every week, respect all but fear none.
Right.
How are you guys handling that this week, knowing the stature that Union has in the CIAA? What's you guys' mindset? How has it changed just a little bit going into this week?
Well, most of the times you say we have to match their intensity. Well, they got to match ours. And we understand that. We're a real good football team, and it's a chance to show the rest of football, the conference in particular, how good we are. And that's the plan, to go in there and show them, because we got them at home. So that's in our favor as well. So again, we feel real good about our preparation already to this point, and we feel good about going to this game come Saturday, 1 o'clock.
Any more questions?
Thank you. I appreciate you. You need to be there this Saturday. It's going to be a good one. I promise you that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Yeah, so out here at Bowman Gray Stadium a couple days before the game against Virginia Union. I know you always say every game is the biggest game of your coaching career and the players, but I mean this one feels different. Given the history between the two schools, especially even last year, Union's a champion and you guys are trying to reclimb that mountain. Just talk about just the stakes that are going to be here, for you guys.
Well, again, you said it. They're the champs, and until somebody knocked them off, they'll be considered the champs. So that's our goal. That's our job, and then we're home. We got to learn to defend home to be champions anyway. So you're right. It is a bigger game than normal. I like the atmosphere. I like the potential in terms of the crowd and support we'll get from our home crowd. And it's going against a real good football team. They went to the 3rd round, if I'm not mistaken, a year ago in the Division II National Playoffs. So for us to come home and play against a team like that, a real good program, and beat them, it's going to speak volumes about the direction we're headed in.
Yeah, no doubt. And I know you talked about it, obviously the run game is something you always want to establish. You guys have had, kind of up and down this year.
Right.
What's going to be the key for you guys to do it consistently against, like she said, again, a Virginia Union team that's really good on the defensive line?
Well, we can run the ball. We just got to make sure, we do pay attention to detail and do the things that we're good at doing. So, again, Coach Reese has done a good job of inserting guys and replacing guys and putting guys in position to make plays. I think we're relatively healthy at the running back position, so that's a good thing for us. And we're going to have to run it though. And again, it's not trash talking, but when you're running the ball, you just it's mano, just smash mouth football. We got to get to that point. And then again, we know Dalen can drop back and wing it, sling it, and we can throw the ball against anybody, and we know that, but we have to run the ball because it helps the passing game.
Got you. And then lastly, obviously, like you said, big game. We've had decent crowds the first couple of games, but 1 o'clock game, those kind of, get a little bit warm, but, what would be your just appeal to the fans to come out, and how important is it for you guys to have a true home field advantage here at Bowman Gray?
Well, the last time we competed for a championship was in 16, so it's roughly 10 years. So I feel like we are championship caliber. I would love for all the Red to come and support their children, their team, their family, their family, if you will, and we won't disappoint.
My name is Davontay Deloatch. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, and I play wide receiver.
Okay, awesome. So, Mr. Deloatch, first year for you here at WSSU, but you're not new to playing here at Bowman Gray Stadium. A couple years ago you had a really great game. Just talk about your transition from over to Livingstone to WSSU and why you decided to come.
I feel like I always had that spark in myself, but I feel like now that I got more, I'm put in a better position to help the team win, and I can really show my talent and the hard work I put in to get to this moment.
Yeah. Did WSSU recruit you out of high school?
It was more after I hit the portal and built a relationship with the coaches and talking with the coaches and stuff, and they welcomed me in, so I was ready to come and play.
Yeah, got you. Who was recruiting you out of high school?
I didn't have too many schools. I feel like Livingstone was the best option for me. It was more like D3 and just like JUCO schools and stuff. It was because I really had 1 year of film, like my senior year of high school, because I was really playing basketball all 4 years. And then I had a little spark my senior year, and I realized this is really what I want to do. I got to take it more serious.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, so again, I just remember the game you guys won over here in 2023, the first time they had won here in a long time. You had a really great game that game and helped them win, but now you're here, wearing the red, white, and black. So, what's it like playing for WSSU? What's it like, attending WSSU?
I like the environment. I'm really grateful for everything about it. I'm just lucky to be healthy. I'm lucky to just play football, do what I love, have my family come out and support me. It's great overall.
Yeah, and then you also first game of the season you get the it was tough. You guys went on the road. Had a couple drops. You also had a big touchdown in the corner. And now you're leading the CIAA in receptions. Just talk about what this year has been like for you up to this point.
Oh yeah, that first game, I want to say that was a eye-opening moment for me. It was more like I needed that drop that cost us the game. I know it's bad, but I feel like I needed that for the confidence to have in myself. And I feel like I already dropped the ball, so it's like I got nothing to lose. So now I might as well just show what I'm about. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Yeah, what's it like playing with Dalen Lee, as a quarterback? What's it like, building that chemistry with him?
Oh, yeah, that's my dog on and off the field. So I tell him every day he the best in the nation, bro. He really the best quarterback out here in North Carolina, in the country, for real. I got that much confidence in him. And we just getting our trust and chemistry up. We just building every week, and we getting better every week.
Okay, awesome.
Play for him.
And then this week, you got Virginia Union coming in. You said you circle all the top schools here. What's going to be the key for you guys? I'm sure you're probably expecting to see a lot more attention your way. I mean, obviously, you've been doing it, but just, after last week, 3 touchdowns, just talk about, what that was like being named wide receiver of the year a week again.
Yeah, I feel like I already put the preparation in, so I just got to come out and be myself. I know they're going to target me now a little bit more, but I'm ready for it. I can't back down for no challenge, no obstacle, no opponent or nothing. So I'm just do what I do, and I got to dominate a little quicker. I know they got a good D-line, so I've been paying attention to that, and I just got to get open a little quicker. And that's all that is.
Awesome. Sounds good. What are you majoring in and everything like that?
Oh, I majored business administration.
Okay.
And Yeah.
What you planning on doing with that afterwards?
I like running business, like clothing brands. I want to have a couple businesses, have my family with a couple businesses. So I just want to learn, and I can teach that along the way.